Dear soul, at this moment, while tears still shine in your eyes and the pain in your chest makes question whether it's truly worth persisting in a love that feels like too heavy a burden, it's important for you to understand something fundamental. Archangel Michael shared with me a truth that can transform your journey, and that truth cannot wait any longer. I see you, exhausted from so much waiting, wondering if it wouldn't be easier to end this cycle and move on. I know you've tried to convince yourself that it's time to let go, that this person won't come back, that this love was just a self-indulgent illusion. However, there's something your logic can't grasp, a dimension beyond human understanding. Miguel revealed to me that what you consider stubbornness or attachment is actually the manifestation of a true connection established on levels your mind cannot imagine. The force that prevents you from moving forward, even when everyone around you tells you it's time to move on, is not weakness, but an ancient wisdom that tells you it's not yet time to let go. Have you ever stopped to consider why, even after so much time and numerous attempts to forget, you still feel this intense passion when you remember that person? Why does your heart race when you hear their name, see something that reminds you of them, or unexpectedly dream about them? The intensity of this feeling hasn't diminished, right? It persists with the same strength as the first day, as if time had no impact on what you experienced. Archangel Michael showed me a clear vision of what really goes on behind the invisible curtains of your connection. While you question the viability of maintaining hope on the other side of this story, there's someone silently struggling with their own feelings. This person can't forget you for even a moment, but pride, fear of their emotions, and a reluctance to acknowledge the depth of their feelings have erected a barrier around their heart. Miguel advises me to tell her not to give up now, just when circumstances are about to change. The person you've been silently grieving for is reaching her breaking point. The barriers she's built to protect herself are beginning to crack, and soon she'll no longer be able to maintain the mask of indifference she's worn for so long. Before proceeding, write in the comments, "I will now activate my spiritual protection shield." This will seal your energy with the strength of the angels and prevent any shadows from approaching. Now, embrace this revelation that can transform everything. You demonstrated immense courage, keeping alive a flame that many would have extinguished long ago. You maintained your faith even when the tears seemed to dry and your energy exhausted. However, Miguel wants you to understand that this resistance was not in vain. Every moment of pain, every sleepless night thinking about that person, every choice to continue believing, even when it seemed foolish, generated a powerful energy that is about to return to you multiplied. There's an invisible force working tirelessly to break down the barriers that keep you apart. This force isn't limited by human logic. It disregards wounded pride, and it's undeterred by the fears that inhabit this person's heart. It's an unshakable current that's dissolving, one by one, every justification they've created to stay away from you. Notice how, recently, you've felt a different kind of agitation. A feeling that something is shifting behind the scenes in your life. You might have woken up with an unexplained racing heart, or had the curious feeling that she's thinking of you just as you mention her. These aren't mere figments of your imagination, they're echoes of a communication, occurring at frequencies beyond the perception of your physical senses. Miguel reveals that, in the coming days, something will break the pattern that has been repeating itself between you. It won't be a subtle or ambiguous change that will leave doubts about its occurrence. It will be clear, direct, and impossible to ignore. A word, a gesture, an attitude that will finally reveal what this person has been holding back for so long. However, the Archangel wants you to understand one fundamental point. When that moment finally arrives, you must be ready not only to welcome it, but to consciously choose how to respond. What lies ahead is not just someone's return, but the opportunity to build something completely new on the rubble of what you once were. Here we begin to realize that her journey thus far has not been limited to waiting for someone, but rather a process of becoming ready to embrace true love without losing herself along the way. Every tear shed, every sleepless night, and every moment of doubt about the sanity of continuing to believe has contributed to shaping a stronger, more conscious, and complete version of her essence. Miguel reveals that this person is undergoing such a profound internal transformation that they can no longer ignore its importance. Emotions they tried to bury are emerging with devastating impact, creating an emotional wave they can no longer control. It's as if a dam has broken in their heart, and all the accumulated water is seeking its natural path, which leads directly to you. In recent days, they've been thinking about you obsessively. They picked up the phone to contact you and, at the last minute, hesitated, torn between the intense desire to talk to you and the fear that it might be too late. They've been writing messages they never send, visiting places they used to frequent together in the hope of a chance encounter, and asking about you to people they know in common, seemingly casually but driven by an urgent need to know how you are. Before continuing, write in the comments, "My energy is sacred, and no evil has power over me." From that point on, nothing will be the same, and this protection will be crucial for what lies ahead. What this person doesn't yet realize is that their continued resistance hasn't protected anyone, it's only created more pain for both. Miguel reveals that she's about to realize this in a shocking way. An unexpected event will confront her with her own vulnerability, and in this moment of utter fragility, the only person she can think of is you. It could be a song on the radio that evokes an impossible memory to ignore, a vivid dream that wakes her up with your name on the tip of her tongue, or a stranger on the street who reminds her of you, breaking down all the barriers she's built. Or it could simply be the sheer exhaustion of carrying this burden alone, acting as if she can function normally when every part of her being silently cries out her name. When that happens, and Miguel assures me it will be soon, she won't be able to avoid the inevitable. Courage will arise from her own exhaustion in resisting, for she reach a point where it will be more painful to stay away from you than to face the fear of opening herself completely. If you've been feeling a strong urge to further strengthen your spiritual protection and your connection to the higher powers guiding this return, there's something powerful that can accelerate this process. In the pinned comment or description of this video, you'll find a link to spiritual tools that can significantly boost your energy at this crucial time. Your presence here now is no coincidence. The universe is directing you toward everything that can strengthen your journey. However, it's crucial to understand that when this person approaches you, it won't be with pretty words or grand gestures. They'll come hurt, vulnerable, perhaps a little lost, recognizing that they tried to forget you and failed, that they tried to move on and realized there's no path that doesn't lead through you. Miguel wants you to understand that your preparation for this moment should not be motivated by revenge or by the search for explanations for the months of silence. This preparation should be focused on compassion, forgiveness, and the possibility of a fresh start on a completely new foundation. The person returning to you is not the same person as before. They have been transformed by your absence. This person has learned the hard way that there are spaces that cannot be filled by anyone else, that there are heart frequencies that only resonate in harmony with one person. There are types of happiness that are only possible when we are with the person we truly love, not with someone we believe we should love. The revelation that is about to occur will be so intense that it will change not only your perspective of each other, but also your understanding of what it means to truly love. Once this awareness reaches your heart, nothing will be able to keep it away from you. It is at this moment that we begin to realize that the universe's perfect timing never fails. It is at this moment that we begin to realize that the universe's perfect timing never falters. Even when our human impatience tries to challenge every delay, every silence, and every day that passes without visible change, Miguel informs me that there is a divine harmony coordinating every step of this narrative, and you have been at the center of a complex and beautiful cosmic dance that goes beyond the perception of your eyes. During these months of apparent separation, you've both experienced the necessary circumstances to reconnect as completely transformed people. You've become more resilient, more aware of your worth, and better able to offer love without sacrificing yourself. She's discovering herself through your absence, understanding who she truly is in your absence, and this revelation has been painfully clear. Before continuing, write in the comments, "Where light dwells, no shadow remains." This statement reflects your courage, your faith, and your spiritual rebirth. Let's continue the message that will transform your life forever. The person you love is going through a process of completely dismantling their certainties. Each day away from you has become a challenging lesson about what truly matters in life. They've tried to convince themselves that this was for the best, that you two didn't fit together, and that the problems of the past were insurmountable. However, life teaches uniquely through direct experience, and living without you has been the harshest teacher they've ever known. Miguel reveals to me that, recently, she has found herself comparing every new person she meets to you, always coming to the same painful conclusion: no one can evoke in her even a fraction of what you evoked. The conversations seem too superficial, the smiles lack the same luminosity, and the silences lack the same depth. It's as if she's tasted the finest wine, and now every other drink seems bitter. This constant comparison is creating a growing discomfort. She realizes that what you had wasn't ordinary, wasn't something easily found. It was rare, special, and the connection you experienced is of that nature, one that comes only once in a lifetime, if we're lucky. The thought of having missed something irreplaceable is beginning to consume her mind. However, Miguel emphasizes that when she returns, and she will, it won't be out of necessity or because she hasn't found anything better. It will be because she finally understands the true value of what you've built together. Has your essence overcome pride? Has true love triumphed over insecurity? Do you recognize that there are battles in life worth fighting, even if it requires setting aside your ego? Have you also felt a growing anticipation that something new is coming, that the environment around you is imbued with a new energy? This is no mere illusion. It's your intuition picking up on the vibrations that precede significant changes. Like sensing the approach of rain before even noticing the clouds in the sky, there's a pressure in the atmosphere, a subtle electricity that signals the approaching storm. This storm is not destructive, but renewing. It is a rain that revitalizes the parched earth and brings new life where there was once desolation. Miguel wants you to prepare for this renewal with calm, not anxiety, not with fixed ideas about how everything should happen, but with the willingness to embrace what the universe has in store for you. It's natural to wonder, what if I get hurt again? What if it's all just an illusion? What if this person comes back, but doesn't really stay? Miguel speaks to my heart. The fear of getting hurt is understandable, but it shouldn't guide your decisions. You've already shown yourself that you're capable of enduring pain, of getting back up when everything seemed to be falling apart, of maintaining your dignity even when heartbroken. The strength you've discovered in yourself recently won't dissipate with her return. On the contrary, it will be your most powerful ally in building something new and stronger than what once existed. Now you know your worth, understand your limits, and are aware of what you accept and what you will no longer tolerate. The person who returns to you will find someone transformed, who has learned to value themselves first, so they can then love others in a healthy way. This will completely change the dynamic between you, establishing a much more mature and sustainable foundation for what lies ahead. An essential question arises here that will determine the success of this reunion. Are you ready to forgive not only this person, but also yourself for all the times you questioned your intuition? Miguel reveals to me that the greatest obstacle to complete happiness will not be forgiving the other person for months of silence, but rather forgiving yourself for repeatedly wondering if you were being naive in continuing to believe. Your heart has always known the truth, even when your mind tried to justify itself in various ways to convince you otherwise. Even when friends and family suggested it was time to move on, even when you tried to force yourself to let go, there was an inner voice that whispered that it wasn't over yet, and you were right. Your intuition never betrayed you, not even for an instant. Before continuing, write in the comments, "I am guided, protected, and strengthened by the angels of good." This will reinforce your energy with the strength of the angels and prepare you to receive what is coming without resistance. Miguel reveals a beautiful scene. This person wakes up in the middle of the night with a racing heart and a cold sweat, after having a dream about you so vivid that, for a few moments, they can't distinguish between dream and reality. In the dream, you were talking as before, laughing together, experiencing a tranquility and a sense of completeness you hadn't felt in months. When she wakes up and realizes it was just a dream, a deep sadness invades her heart, followed by the certainty that she needs to find you. However, there's an internal struggle between her heart, which yearns for you, and her mind, which insists on creating barriers. What if she doesn't want to see me again? What if she found someone better? What if I hurt her irreparably? These thoughts torment her daily, creating a paralysis that keeps her lost between the will to act and the fear of rejection. She doesn't realize that Miguel is working to create the ideal situation in which her courage will overcome her fear. This might manifest itself in a chance encounter that seems accidental but is carefully orchestrated by the universe. It might be a special date that revives memories impossible to ignore, or a personal crisis that makes her realize that life is too short to be lived with wounded pride. When that moment arrives, and Miguel assures her it will be soon, you'll recognize it instantly. It won't be just a message or a superficial contact. It will be filled with an intense vulnerability and an honesty she's never had the courage to show before. It may be accompanied by tears, a choked voice, hands that tremble as you type the words you've rehearsed 1,000 times in your mind. And in that decisive moment, your reaction will not only shape what's to come between you, but will also reflect the love you'll spread throughout the world. True love transcends emotions. It involves the active choice to act with kindness, even when faced with the option of being indifferent. Miguel reveals that your essence is so generous that you will not allow resentment to taint this special moment. Deep down, you know that holding on to grudges would be wasting a unique opportunity to demonstrate the greatness of your being. This doesn't mean you should accept everything or renounce your limits. It's about being open to listening, understanding, and allowing something new and beautiful to emerge from the ashes of what you once were. The person who returns will not be the same person who left. They will have learned from their stubbornness and missed you, recognizing the mistake of allowing fear to prevail over love. They will come seeking an opportunity not to relive the past, but to build something entirely new, based on complete honesty. And you, who have grown stronger during this lonely journey, will have the discernment to distinguish between empty promises and genuine regrets. Your intuition, always accurate even in moments of doubt, will know immediately if the proposal presented is authentic or merely a desperate attempt to fill a temporary void. Miguel wants you to understand something that will touch your heart deeply. This time it's true. This time it's irrevocable. This time it's forever. No longer a fragile commitment based on temporary feelings, but a conscious and mature choice of two souls who, in suffering separation, understood the true value of what they shared. The Archangel shows me that this person has undergone such a profound transformation during their time away from you that they sometimes don't recognize themselves. Priorities have shifted drastically, values have been restructured, and you are now at the forefront of what truly matters in their life. Not as an unhealthy obsession, but as the clear realization that they have found their soulmate and made the mistake of letting them slip away out of fear and immaturity. Before moving on, write in the comments, "The light that guides me is stronger than any darkness." This affirmation will create an energetic channel that will allow all remaining obstacles to be removed from your path. They have been talking to close friends about you and, for the first time, openly acknowledges how much they regret their choice to distance themselves. She's referring to you with a reverence that even those closest to her find surprising, recognizing qualities in you that she may have previously overlooked. The separation has acted as a lens, magnifying in her memory all the good times you shared. Miguel revealed that she has been reflecting intensely on all the relationships she's had throughout her life and has come to a conclusion that has shaken her. None of them compare in any way to what you two have built, whether in depth, connection, or moments of genuine happiness. It's like comparing candlelight to sunlight. There is no comparison. This new understanding has generated a growing urgency within her, which has become unbearable. She realizes she has lost life's greatest treasure and is willing to do anything to get it back. It's not desperation, but a firm determination. It's not the absence of someone, but the complete certainty of where she belongs and with whom she wants to spend the next few days. In the following days, an event will occur that will be the final push for her to take action. It could be an anniversary of a special moment they shared together, a song that plays the moment she thinks of you, a clear sign from the universe that she can't ignore, or simply the limit of her endurance, the moment when being away from you becomes more painful than any rejection. When she finally musters the courage to reach out to you, it won't be with vague words or subtle suggestions. It will be with the raw truth about everything she's experienced these past few months, the regret that consumes her, and the certainty that you're the person she wants to build an authentic life with. It will be a moment of vulnerability, sincerity, and an honesty she may never have expressed in this way. Miguel hopes you're ready for the intensity of this encounter, not because it will be difficult to handle, but because it will be so beautiful, liberating, and healing that it may bring you to overwhelming tears. All the tears you shed in silence, all the nights you questioned your actions, and all the moments you almost gave up but chose to keep believing it, will all finally be worth it. You will realize that every day of pain was a day of growth. Every moment of uncertainty was a demonstration of your conviction, and every tear represented a seed planted in the soil of the future you will build together. Nothing was in vain, nothing was lost, nothing was wasted. Everything had a greater meaning than your human eyes could not perceive at the time. Furthermore, you'll recognize that you've become the person you needed to be to experience this love in the most complete and healthy way possible. Loneliness taught you self-sufficiency, pain made you appreciate moments of joy, and uncertainty heightened your trust in intuition. You're not the same person you were at the beginning. Now, you're a stronger, wiser, and more whole version. When you meet again, it will be as if two new people met for the first time, but with hearts filled with fond memories of your past experiences together. It will be a complete new beginning, but with the added benefit of already knowing the depth of your feelings for each other. We have reached the culmination of this revelation, where everything fits together perfectly. Thus, we arrive at the grand finale, where everything connects harmoniously, and you finally understand that your journey so far has not been limited to just winning back a lost love, but to discovering the extraordinary strength that resides within you when you decide to trust your feelings, instead of surrendering to your fears. Miguel asked me to convey a message that will resonate in every cell of your being. You always knew, even in moments of insecurity, when everyone around you insisted you were deceiving yourself. Even when your mind tried to convince you otherwise, deep in your heart, you always knew this story wasn't over yet. That inner wisdom that kept you going when it was easier to give up is the same wisdom that will guide you in your next steps. What lies ahead will require all the emotional maturity you've gained during these months of solitary growth. When that person approaches you, and they certainly will, according to Miguel, you need to be centered enough to hear not only the words spoken, but also the feelings expressed behind them. Before moving on, write in the comments, "I am protected by invisible forces acting in my favor." This final affirmation ensures the protection needed to welcome everything that is coming with serenity and wisdom. She will approach you vulnerable, bearing fresh scars from an internal battle that nearly destroyed her. She will display humility, albeit a bit intimidated by her own fragility. She will arrive determined, yet uncertain about whether she deserves the forgiveness she is about to request. At this delicate moment, your reaction will not only define the future of both of you, but will also leave a legacy of greatness for the world. Miguel demonstrates that you have a heart too kind to squander this sacred opportunity with wounded pride or a desire for revenge. Your evolving soul recognizes the distinction between justice and cruelty, between establishing healthy boundaries and creating unnecessary barriers. You will listen with empathy, but also with discernment. You will forgive with love, keeping your dignity intact. The person who returns is not the immature person who left out of fear, but someone shaped by pain, capable of offering the deep love you both deserve. Someone who has learned the hard way that there are treasures in life that cannot be exchanged for anything in this world, and you are their most precious possession. This act reinforces the current of light and helps these messages reach others who, like you, were also at their limits. When everything resolves between you and it will surely happen in a way more beautiful than you can imagine. You will look back and realize that every tear was necessary. Every sleepless night had its meaning, and every moment of near giving up was a test of your faith, which you overcame with flying colors. You will realize that the universe was always weaving a narrative of love so strong and genuine that it needed to be proven to the extreme for both of you to truly know what you feel. As soon as it returns, and Miguel emphasizes that it will happen soon, a new phase will begin in your lives. It will no longer be the emotional roller coaster of before, full of ups and downs, uncertainties, and fears. It will be the mature stability of two people who understand exactly what they want and are willing to do whatever it takes to protect that love. Miguel asks you to end this message by remembering something essential. You no longer need to prove anything to anyone, not even yourself. You've already demonstrated incredible strength and faith to get this far. Now it's time to simply open yourself up and receive with gratitude everything the universe has prepared especially for you. Trust in the unfolding timing. Believe in the wisdom of your heart, which has never let you down. Have faith in the angelic protection that has always been by your side on this journey. And, above all, believe in yourself, in the strong, wise, and loving woman you have become during this transformation. The outcome of this story will be more wonderful than you ever dared to dream. When you're enjoying this complete happiness with the one you love, remember that it was your unwavering faith that made it all possible. If this message resonated with you and you feel like you belong to something greater, I sincerely invite you to join our spiritual family. Subscribe to the channel and share in the comments how this message has impacted your life. Tell your story, talk about your experiences, and share with our community the signs you've noticed. We're not just people watching videos online, we are connected souls, supporting each other through words of light and hope. Your experience may be what someone else needs to hear today. Together, we are stronger. Together, we are a spiritual family united by love and faith. We look forward to your participation in the comments and in the next video. We truly appreciate you being here.